When you walk into a law office, is where paper goes to die.
Oh.
You've got stacks and stacks of files. I've tried to go paperless, but it's not that easy.
But why need paper? Something that my accountant mom can't seem to get rid of.
I think, okay, you need paper for a few reasons. Number one, to be honest, it's easier to read. Rather than reading everything off like my iPad, right? Sometimes in court, I will have my iPad and then I have some questions for the witness, but I would still prefer a hard copy of the documents to confront the witness with, or else you're like flipping through two documents at the same time, and it's very difficult. So sometimes you just want the hard copy there to as a reference, and then you've got the digital media, whatever it is. And the judges, of course, there's a younger batch coming up, but the judges also sometimes prefer paper. So you have to entertain your demographic, right? You got to cater to what they want. So if the judges want paper, then sorry lah, it's paper.
Aside from my moral reasons, right, is it more lucrative to be a judge as compared to a lawyer? I mean, why do people want to be a judge, right?
It's a job at the end of the day. In terms of lucrative or not, because lawyers keep their pay and salaries very close to their heart. It's hard to make objective assessment of it. But I can say this: even judges work really hard. Sometimes you have like urgent applications. You file it and the hearing is like 7 days later, kind of thing. The judge actually has read all of it. Even I'm like, oh my God, this was a lot to read, But our judges, like the Supreme Court judges, for example, a lot of them are ex-practitioners. Some of them were ex-senior counsel, blah, blah. So, they basically have been there, done that. So they know what they're talking about and they know what to look out for.
So I remember in poly, right, Singapore Polytechnic, like our friend here, we study this ethics and moral as our GEMS. I don't know if you know what GEMS is, like some elective, right? And then they are talking about like means to an end and that kind of thing. And how do you judge what's right, what's wrong? Is it based on your own moral compass? But then the thing is, your own moral compass might not align with the world's moral compass. It's like so difficult, right?
Wow, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah,
and I'll put it this way. As a lawyer, you just have one reputation to lose. And when people ask me what do you look out for in terms of young lawyers, I always say RIP. It doesn't mean rest in peace. It means resiliency, integrity, and professional skills. So under the integrity quotient, goes back to what you said. It is your own moral compass.
Right.
Because that's all you have. You don't have any other moral compass that you can go by. You know what is right. You know what is wrong. And sometimes you will be pressured to do something which you feel is not quite right. That's where you have to okay lah, sorry lah, I can't continue like this, or I can't continue the case like this. But
I don't know if you know that there's this lawyer, is an Indian dude that fights for criminal one. What's his name?
Are you talking about Subhas?
I think so.
Subhas Anandan?
I think so, right. He's like, I'm not really into the law circle or whatever, but then I know a lot of people talk about this guy. You're not in the law circle?
Really.
What?
I wish I was better at like the names.
Form your own clique. Yeah. But I know he famously is always on the side of the criminal.
Yep.
And then, like, if you think about his perspective, right, how did he make it work, Because every aspiring lawyer will be like, oh, I want to fight on the side of good and justice, and eventually you'll be like, no, I just want to earn more money. Maybe. Yeah. So I don't know what is his like. What do you think is his like kind of like prerogative or his perspective? Well, because he's like quite grey, right?
Yeah. No, I think he was he was in pursuit of justice for his client, and God rest his soul, he's since passed on. And he did get, a pretty good track record of acquittals.
Actually, yes.